Hey everybody, I think we're live. I think we're live. Let me know if you guys can hear me. And we'll get started. So what I'm doing today is going over some feedback. From the Nimble Discord. Hello, Trollmakers, and this handy document that a few of the people from the community have set up. I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of what I've been working on the past few days. Lots of tweaks and changes to the heroes. I've got some edits back from the editor, so I'm implementing some of those, updating different things for the core rules with the recent changes to the stats, and then laying out some additional adventures in the GM guide. I don't know how many of those are going to be included or not, but I did finally lock down the page count. So the final page count for the GM guide is going to be 112. The core rules is going to be 56, I think. 54, 56. It has to be like a multiple of 8, basically, for the signature. So 8 times... Yeah, so it's going to be 56 for the core rules, and then the heroes... and that's excluding end papers as well. The heroes is going to be 82, I believe. Plus 16, plus 8, 80? I'm not sure. The heroes is going to be 80, something. I don't know. I've got it written down somewhere. So I've got the page counts locked down. So I can't add any new spreads. I can replace them. I can change things out. I can move things around, but I can't add or remove any spreads. I can remove them, they'd just be blank. Also, I took the week to revise, like completely revise the version 1 rules. People pretty much every day still have been buying the version 1 rules, and just to make things easier for people to talk about V1, V2, I've initially it was just going to be like update, block dodge to just say defend, and update, just a couple of words, just, tweak it. But I really revised it to coincide much better with version 2, and I renamed version 1 to Nimble 5e, because you're running 5e. You're basically running 5e. You're using the 5e characters, the 5e adventures, the 5e everything 5e. You're just using those rules but updating it. I think that clarity was needed, and then I'm just calling the version 2. It's just Nimble. It's just Nimble version 2. I think that's the clarity that we're looking for. So I've been doing that, and I also updated the new. I don't think it's alive yet, but there's the NimbleRPG.com website. So BackerKit has like not been sending out the the PDFs when people pre-order like it's supposed to, and people have been messaging me and stuff, and like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So in order to fix that, to not frustrate everybody, I went ahead and made a new website with Shopify, where and it's not live yet. I need to do a little bit more testing, but it's pretty much live. So I've been working on that. That took longer than I wanted to. So I made a new Shopify website so that people can do pre-orders and not have to fiddle with BackerKit. BackerKit's been they've been fantastic with like the crowdfunding campaign. Their support is really helpful, but man, the actual management of like post-campaign stuff is needs some work, and I think they know it. I think BackerKit knows it, and they're working on new stuff. But man, it's been unfun. It's been unfun. We'll just say that. So I'm trying to get that stuff together. So today, I think, so we are getting closer. So let me give you guys just an idea of timing. So for the people who are watching this afterward. By the way, hey Twin Steel, hey Josh, Double King, Kazagulus, Edward, Warren, good to see all you guys. I think there's a couple of other people. Sam Dark, George Straighton. Yeah, good to see all you guys. Thanks for hanging out. There's a handful of others, but so as far as timing, I was going between a few different printers, and I'll send everybody an update. But if anybody does have questions, you guys can link them to this. Nimble 5e has 4 stats. So Nimble 5e, the hack, because the version 1 is so modular, you can pick and choose the different parts that you want. But if you want to use all of it, it's got 4 stats, and it's much closer to version 2. So it's got the 4 stats. It's got, everything is the same 10 skills, the same 4 stats, the same actions, and all of that sort of stuff. But you are converting 5e heroes, 5e classes into using the Nimble system. But again, it's something that's modular, and you can use that or not. You can keep the 6 stats. You can go to 5 stats. You can do all that kind of stuff. So it's much more modular. Okay, so for as far as timing it and all that kind of stuff, and printing, and how fulfillment is going to be looking, so I got fulfillment sorted out. We got shipping locked down. There shouldn't be any surprises there. But I had like 3 or 4 different printers that I was talking with, and the one printer that I was going with initially. I think they knew that was like that they were the main printer I was talking to, and like right at the last moment, as the crowdfunder ended, they raised their prices like a lot. They raised their prices like a lot. So I was like, okay, well, I reached out to a few other creators to just to get some, a few extra quotes. So I got it was a relatively like a medium-sized company in Asia. Because that's just I took that on recommendation from another creator. I reached out to another creator who recommended a much larger company. So they're U.S. based, at least corporately they're U.S. based. They're based in the U.S., but I think they do their printing in Asia. And it's a much bigger company that I have a lot more confidence in. Their prices were much more affordable, so I was able to add like some more cool stuff with that. So their prices were much more affordable, and the quality I think would be what we're looking for, since it's a better company. Or a bigger company, that is. It's not, some of these companies are just like ran by one guy, and he's got like a team of like 3 people. It's a fairly large project. And then when I was doing the talking with the people about fulfillment, I'm going with, I think it's Games Quest. I don't know. It's some company. I think it's Games Quest, to do the international fulfillment. They recommended, hey, reach out to a couple of companies here in the EU that do printing, and quite well. So some of the things were very competitively priced, but other things like for instance, like a square sticker, like a sticker like this, was like, like fairly cheap. But like if I had a die cut sticker, like the Nimble logo, like one of the stickers is like a holographic like die cut, sticker of the Nimble logo, because like I think that'd be cool. You stick it on a laptop or whatever. That was like incredibly expensive, because like they don't do that kind of thing. So like certain things, like, so I definitely go with them. It's all above board, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh no, it's like these are high production printing companies, like very large companies. Yes, yeah. So I'm not even talking to like the discount companies, shady ones. I'm not even dealing with any of that. So no. So the EU-based companies, either they couldn't do like, oh, we can't do cards, we can't do cloth maps, we can't do dice, we can't do like certain, so they can do like books like really well, and I think pretty competitively. And so that would be ideal for maybe a future project. So I'm going to keep them in mind for future projects. So I think we're just going to be going with a larger Asian company. The quality's going to be great. The shipping is going to be fine, so they're going to make 2 different shipments: one to the U.S. where I am, and then one to the U.K. where there's a warehouse either in the U.K. And then from the U.K. they're going to ship it. They have like a warehouse in Canada for the Canadian orders. They have a warehouse in France or something for the EU orders. I don't know. They're going to do all those things. So all of the VAT and fiddly bureaucratic things is going to be taken care of on import, instead of when the end customer like receives it, they have to pay like this penalty tax or whatever. I don't know how all that works, but they said yes, it's all going to be taken care of, much less fiddly. Everybody knows what to expect, and I think that's all much better. um, so I think we've gone with that, but the way that things line up with the larger company, with their printing schedule, I think at the end of January, beginning of February, I think it's the Chinese New Year. And like basically everybody wants to get everything printed like before the Chinese New Year because they're out of like everybody's just out of office for like 2 weeks. So there's a big backlog all throughout January for people like rushing to get things before the Chinese New Year, and then afterwards there's a big backlog of people who've been waiting for those 2 weeks who couldn't get in. So the timing is a little bit adjusted. I think it'll be worth it in the end. Like waiting a little bit longer for the final shipment. I think it'll be okay because things take as long as they take. I don't want to rush it, and rather than me rushing and going with these other companies I'm not as sure with because they have a faster timing. I don't want to compromise on that. So the smaller company was claiming they could do it quicker, but I don't know if I trust. There was a bit of a risk, like 80% chance that they could, but Chinese New Year's a big one. Yeah, yeah, just can't get around that. So there was like just this little, in the back of my mind, like I'm not sure I want to go with like this very, very small company. They're really promising me a lot, and I don't want to risk all of the whole project. It's not going to affect the digital content release date, no. So digital content, it's just going to be released when it's released. So we're working toward that right now. And the Asian companies, they can do, they're adding some cool like additional little touches that I think are going to make it worth it. They're going to be sending a blank box and like just like mock-ups of it. So the right page count, the right sizes, the right number of cards and map and DM screen. They're sending all of this stuff blank just so we can like work out all the kinks. So like that kind of like quality stuff, like, hey, we want to make sure everything is correct before we print out a bajillion of these. So they're doing those kinds of quality things, and that kind of stuff adds time to the schedule. But we're gonna make sure that everything is great and there's not any surprises. So I think just taking a little bit of extra time is going to be worth everybody getting what they ordered and not having some surprise of like, oh, this book is not printed well. So we're doing what are called mock-ups, and then we're doing what's called wet proofs. I think it's called wet proofs, where they're actually going to like air mail me, like just ship it on a jet. But they can only ship so many, so they're going to print out like 4 copies of the boxes and books and stuff for me to have, and I can like so we can see, and I'll do a flip through, and you guys can like see the quality of everything and make sure everything's good to go. So that's going to be relatively soon, but the bulk production it takes longer, and then largely it's the actual on the boat, waiting on the boat, waiting at the docks, waiting on the boat, the actual shipping, like on a literal ship. In fact, the other company wasn't. I think it's absolute reason for yeah. Yeah. And like the questions that the bigger company was asking was like, hey, instead of this kind of coding, you should use this coding. If you use like the matte coating on the cover, then you want to make sure the books are have shrink wrap on them. Otherwise, they'll get scuffed in shipping. Or if you're printing on the end papers, it's a different kind of paper than the interior paper. You want to make sure this laminate is on here so that you don't have, I forget what the term is, but like when the pages are rubbing, the ink could bleed through from one page to the other page. So if you're doing this, you have to add this and make sure the quality is okay. And they're asking me questions about the headbands and the tailbands, and like what, due to the page count of the book, you should use a bookmark of this width. Like those kinds of like detailed questions really gave me a lot more confidence in this company. And even like when I send the order details, like I put like, I put like 200 of some like some sticker or something like that. And like he caught that and he said, should this be 2000 like the other sticker? Like those kinds of things, like they were catching even my own errors. And I don't think the other guys really did. so the, I've got a lot more confidence in the company that we're going with now. And I'm really confident that everybody's going to get exactly what they ordered and more. So there's going to be a few little cool bonuses that people are going to be getting as well, because whenever we can, let's do that. Okay, so that is an update on the progress. Right now, they are expecting printing in, like they might be able to squeeze it in before the end of January, before the Chinese New Year, but maybe not all of it. So it's going to be like February before everything is printed. And then the shipping takes like something like 5 to 8 weeks or something. So like they would arrive at where I am, I think like in April sometime. So everything, that just a few weeks on this side of it, like really makes it take like a little bit longer. But that means that we have a little bit more time to like cook with the books and do like put a little bit more time into the books and make all these changes that we're wanting to make, which is not a bad thing. And I don't want to be rushing just to rush. So if we need to push it just a little bit, we'll do that. I don't want to spend forever on it because like eventually like we do have to call it good, but I also don't want to rush it. I hope you guys understand. I hope that makes sense. Hey Maya, I hope that makes sense. I hope that works for everybody. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, because that's what we're doing. But I hope everybody can see the value in taking your time, doing it right, and not having any surprises or disappointments or anything like that, because it's a big project. Last night got the V1.8. I'm loving. Hey, all right. Do you plan on making a bestiary or an item compendium in the near future? I think that would be really cool. Art book would be very expensive. I'd love to do that. But each piece of art can be like many hundreds or thousands of dollars for like one piece of art. So I try to be as economical as I can be about it, but and a lot of times like I will pay hundreds of dollars for a piece of art and then like it's not good enough, and like but the artist spent like a week of their time on this art, so I can't just like, oh, let me get a refund like they're Walmart or Amazon or something. You can't do that because like they spend a week of their time. So we either ask for changes and like they'll bill for changes, or I have to pay another artist to redo it. So art is the hardest part of these kinds of projects. That's why like a lot of these projects, that they'll just use stock art, or they'll use this, the art's fine, but like not great. So a few pieces I'm having redone, like the map in particular, and like few other things. But during this project, I have been able to like establish like pretty good relationships with a number of like really high quality artists. So any future projects hopefully will be easier. I'll have more art at my fingertips. But yeah, I'd love to make like a bestiary item compendium. I think like it might not just be like just a bestiary or just an items thing. It'll be like uh, it, it might be like I don't know, like Xanathar's Guide or something like that, where it has like a little bit of like maybe like a Scion class, an Artificer class, more monsters, more adventures, like something like that. But I'd have to sort of figure out like I'd have to figure out like how to go about it. Like I've really fallen in love with the setting, and the adventure style. I've really fallen in love with that. And I've got some people writing some adventures that won't appear in the GM guide. So I'm already producing more content that isn't going to be in this project. So yeah, figuring out some way to release that, I think is an interesting thing. Yeah. But I do like the idea of having like the player facing stuff in its own book and the GM facing stuff in its own book. I don't like the books that have like secret GM stuff, adventure things combined with things that the players need to see. I think Patreon, yeah, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. um, so I really don't like the idea of like having one book having everything, like the GM handing you this book, but don't look at the last few pages. Like, I don't like that. Just as a player myself, so I'd rather have the player facing stuff and the GM facing stuff in separate books. If I were to do it over again, I might have the heroes and the core rules be one book and the GM guide be its own book, like all the player facing stuff. I think that'd be perfectly fine. But like having two different books for the heroes and the core rules is handy as well, because like I could be looking up like my next level while someone else is looking up like how the grapple rules work or whatever. So like that is handy. It's definitely not a bad thing. Hard Potter Patreon is it takes over everything. You got to be constantly getting people in to make stuff. Yeah. So like this is not my main job. Like I'm not really in this for the money. Like I've got a full time job already. So like I don't need it to make me money. This is something that I'm doing for fun. It's quickly taking up more of my time, but like I don't make YouTube videos for money, and I'm not doing this for money. Like I'm doing it because it's like cool and fun, and I'm learning a lot, which I'm enjoying as well. and just having a cool creative outlet is nice, and like hearing how people are liking it. Hearing how much people are liking it is really nice. Like, yeah, I'm like D&D is like a super cool thing, but it's super duper frustrating as well in different ways. So if I can make people's lives a little bit better, then yeah, why not? All right, guys, I think we've yapped long enough. Let's get into how about a Patreon. Everyone gets PDFs in our group. I always knew you'd do an expansion. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say promise anything until this one's done, though, according to my wife, and she'll need a little bit of a break. Which races is in the system? We got a bunch. We got a bunch of different little creatures you can do. So we got humans and elves and dwarves and halflings and gnomes as the as like the common races, or ancestries is what we ended up calling them. And then we have we actually just go. We can scroll through them real quick. Then we've got some like exotic ancestries, like bunny rabbits. How cool is that? And a lot of it is just like I found an artist, Kiri Leonard, who had like this really cool picture of a bunny, a really cool picture of a bunny. Initially, it was going to be frog folk, but I couldn't find any good picture of frog folk. So I was like, hey, now it's Bun Bun. So like the art really inspires the design as well. So we got Bun Bun, we've got kobolds, we got goblins, we've got celestial beings and minotaurs and changelings. So we've got a good number of different ancestries. Bun Bun is the best. Bun Bun is the best. Understand what I said to you. Hey, yeah, appreciate it, Edward. Rob, I've never understood the GM player divide. Sure, don't read ahead if you're running the adventure. And that's fine. Like a lot of people like that, that's not a big deal. But for me, like a big part of like the fun of it when I first started playing D&D was like the mystique of like what in the world is the GM doing back there, or the DM? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's got the stat blocks of the monsters, and like, oh, I wonder what a monster stat block looks like, and like that kind of stuff. Like, oh, what does a dragon do? I want to fight a dragon. It's like not really knowing what like what was going on back there is like really kind of cool. So that's a big part of the fantasy. It's just like watching a movie for the first time. Like not knowing what's going to happen is a big part of the fun. You know, I could watch Harry Potter movies like over again, and like it's fun, but in a different way. Like it's nostalgic fun. But like watching for the first time is like just different. You know, it's a different thing. Wife is looking forward to running a Bun Bun Stormtrooper. Nice, very cool. Very cool. Wondering if her pack appearance can be human. Really craving a good grung art for the rogue. Yeah, I mean, if you guys know any artists and they have cool art, let me know. I mean, I'm like constantly purchasing art from people, and I basically just have like open deals with different artists. Like anytime you draw anything, send it to me and I'll pay you for it. Not like every artist, you know, I'll run out of money real quick, but like certain artists that I know, like they'll just send me random stuff, and I'll say, like how can I use this? You know. So that's how a lot of the different regions and zones came to be, and that's how a lot of the legendary monsters came to be. Like I just had this cool art, and I was like, oh man, let's make something cool with this. Okay, that's enough yapping, you guys. Let's get to some changes. And Edward or whoever, if you guys have any. If you have any recommended places to start, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just sort of get started. We'll just get started with the things at the top of the list. And then I might also go through some of the Discord. There's been some really good suggestions and changes and stuff, and I might just go through some of that too. Mister, are we talking about expansion? No, we're just plotting. We're just plotting. I'm a Herringarn druid. Hey, Angela. And a Bun Bun structure. Oh, that's cool. I think Bun Bun sounds cooler than Herringarn. Okay, Zephyr is missing the swap abilities and long rest tooltip. I think we fixed that. Let's double check. Like, how cool of a name is Zephyr, by the way? That is correct. Okay, so how does let's grab the one from here. Be wild. Go on, stick it there. I think it's like if they like chill in a windy place or something, which is pretty sweet. Whenever you spend, time meditating alone in a windy place during a long rest, you make change. Yeah. Look at that, guys. Making progress already. Bingo. Suggested gear plus background for every class. Ooh, yeah, that was something that we are going to do. That's going to take a little bit. I might come back to that one. We've been pretty good about getting the stuff from Discord and the feedback doc. Okay, good. Emma and Edward have. Thank you both. You're gentlemen and scholars. I'm officially done running D&D 5e. We're just waiting on the Foundry module, and we'll officially move over to Nimble. Cool. I mean, you can run it quite easily in Owlbear Rodeo. My IA, if you want to. But yeah, that is something else that I was planning on doing. Anybody who's running Nimble, I'd be happy to include, or creating content for Nimble, I'd be happy to include that as like as one of the pages on the website, because I think that's super duper cool. So we'll come back to this one because that's going to take me a little bit of cooking and thinking. Are utility spells unlocked too late? I think some of them might be. Or Zephyr in the Underdark. That's super cool. Utility spells unlocked too late. So let's see. So when, as I was deciding when, as I was fitting in when the utility spells are learned, it was basically like which levels don't have a whole lot going on yet. So I think having them at level 1 is just going to have too much going on at level 1. Level 2, so just for the mage, for example. It would be great to have a background for the Zephyr, like Monk, as, yeah, so we'll get to the backgrounds. So for backgrounds, for boons, they definitely need a second pass. I might send out a survey where everybody can rank them, like S through F tier. So yeah, I might do that. Nimble, I have a playlist of Nimble ran games. Cool, yeah, that'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about like playthroughs or playtest or live plays. That's what I'm thinking. Live plays of Nimble. There's a series on Twitch that one group who was just playing 5e and they just sort of converted their characters to Nimble for a while. They played through for a while. I don't know how they liked it or not. But there's been a few. I haven't put them all together in one place yet. I'm going to be posting more than a few games on SPG. I don't know what SPG is that you can pop up there. Plan on having a couple play by post. Cool. Let's start the top of clean it up. Preparation for the game. Hey, all right, cool, awesome. All right, so for the utility spells, I think level 1, level 2 is probably too much. Level 3, you're choosing a subclass. Level 4, you start getting like your cool like new abilities that you can pick from. Level 5, you get Elemental Surge. So level 5, you get, you don't get too much. Elemental Mastery. Okay, so level 3 is when you get your first utility spell, which feels about right. Getting a subclass and utility spell. Yeah, okay, so the mage gets it at level 3, level 6, and level 14, which that feels good. So like you get one early, a second one early, and then like you can always swap those out. You can always swap those out when you rest, like whenever you spend time. So it's not just these. So I do need to update this. So the intent is for the mage. So for the mage, level 3, learn the utility spells from one spell school you know. So I should probably move that to. I should probably move this to here, just so it's clear that you can swap these out. You may choose different mage options whenever you're tutored by a, and I think I tweaked it here as well. Whenever you spend time studying arcane books or are tutored by a high level mage, because you might be like level 20 and there's no more higher mages. You may choose different mage options whenever you study arcane books or are tutored by a high level mage during a long rest. Uh-oh, why's my phone dying? Oh, my phone is acting as a camera. That's funny. Sorry, we probably don't need that right now. Disconnect. All right, I got a note from my wife. I'm not allowed to stream too long, so we probably got like another hour. Okay, so yeah, so the intent is to have the elemental mastery things, that the utility spells, be able to, you can pick different schools. So if you pick lightning, I kind of like the fire ones. I'm gonna swap during a long rest. So you can do that. You can choose different mage options. By Hollow Mage, you may choose different. Is that how it's worded? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I think mage is fine. Getting a few at level 3, some at level 6, and then like to unlock all of them is going to be a pretty high level thing. So like there's like it's always nice having like a set of 10 different abilities you can choose from, and I can pick like a third of them or a half of them, and like there's always like more. It's sort of like playing through an RPG, and like you pick these dialogue options and you don't pick these others. So like, oh, I'm gonna play through again to see what it's like to play on the dark side instead of the light side of the force. I'm thinking like playing through like Knights of the Old Republic or something like that. So that's mage. So let's back up and look at where other classes get them. Mage, Oathsworn. Oathsworn gets them at level 7, which feels okay. Maybe we can move that a little bit earlier. But the Oathsworn is a half caster class, so you choose one Radiant utility spell, and then level 11. And I think that's it. Yeah, yeah. So the Oathsworn never gets like all of them, I think, if I recall. Start playing games. Yeah. Okay, I've heard of that. I've never heard of SPG as the abbreviation. Justron, I think you should unlock at least one when you get your spellcasting. I don't know. So for the crunchier minded people, if you so the utility spell, so you can, as the GM, you can give those out earlier if you want to. Like choose one utility spell, you just always know it. But for like normies, going from like 3 cantrips at level 1 to unlocking like 3 different spell schools, like that's kind of a big deal. And this new system, that's a lot already. That's a lot already. So I'm worried about. So you can always add complexity, right? But removing complexity is really difficult. So you can always give more if you feel like your players can handle that. Hey, Brandon, good to see you, man. I thought you were at work tonight. If your players love the crunch, give them cool items, give them additional spells, give them cool boons that let them do sweet things. Just like whenever they level up or whenever they do something cool, just give it to them, right? But for the normies, for like new players, we're really sort of running at that ragged edge of like as much as I can handle without it becoming like a second job, right? Oh yeah, work. Okay. Cool. I think when you unlock spellcasting is probably too soon. Everything's running good. All right, chilling. Brandon's got a great job. He's got a great job. He does have to work nights, and he has to miss church sometimes, which is no good, but he's got a pretty cool job. As a mage, I'd rather gain one utility from spell from each school rather than all from one. Yeah, I mean, if you can always change things if you want to do that. But so like a lot of people really love the idea, like I want to be a lightning mage, I want to be a fire mage, I want to be like I want to specialize in this. So for the mechanical combat spells, that's not really feasible because you like just mechanically you sort of need the mechanics of the different spell schools. So we can sort of salvage that fantasy of like I'm focusing on lightning spells, but by picking the lightning utility schools spells. So that's the reason. If you want to change it, you can always change it. I agree with Josh Tron. Even something super basic would make you feel magical. DM Todd, I'll be running Nimble games on SPG once the Foundry game system is available. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm gonna be following up with Phil. See how that's going. Hopefully we can get a timeline for it. So basically like the bulk of everything is like not changing. So we're like tweaking tiny little things, moving this here and there. Like we're really not changing the rules anymore. We're tweaking the adventures. We're tweaking the wording. We're like fiddling with balance just ever so slightly. So if anybody starts a Nimble game right now, it's going to look basically exactly. It's going to look like basically. Ooh, it's going to look basically exactly like it is. You guys see my desktop? Like, look at that. Oof. It's mostly just screenshots of things because I need to clean up. So if you guys do want to start, even while it's in beta, you can be pretty confident that like core things are not that is some desktop. I will say it's been years. It's been years since the desktop has been cleaned. I just take screenshots of things and like send them to people, like on Discord or whatever, and like there's just like a bajillion screenshots. It's my one weakness, everybody. My desk is clean. My desk in my office is clean, but my okay. All right, let's keep going. So Oathsworn maybe could get their utility spells a bit earlier. Let's see. Let's see if we can squeeze it in anywhere else. Level 1, definitely not. Level 2, definitely not. Level 3, definitely not. You get a subclass and a sacred decree. Level 4, definitely not. You get we get all these things already. Level 5, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe maybe we can move it to level 5, level 6. Not the desktop. Oh, look at it. um, gaze upon the horror. So could we move it to level 5 or level 6 possibly? Judgment dice. When you're attacked, gain 2 judgment dice instead. Super good ability. Secondary stat increase, upgraded cantrips. I don't know. I kind of like it at level 7. I kind of like it at level 7. Like you're really not spellcasters. You are really a melee fighter who can cast spells sometimes. I kind of like it where it is. My goal is having the desktop as a default location for a save screenshot is clear to play. I don't know. It's easy to find there. You may be releasing the Figma files. Yes, I'm planning on releasing at least some of the Figma files. I don't know if there was a question about that. But I'm planning on releasing some of the Figma files so you guys can work with this a little bit more easily and make cool stuff. The trade dress. So not the Figma files with the content, but just like the base templates. Could I still do the pre-order? Yeah, you can definitely do the pre-order. You absolutely can. If you go to, oh, and let me show you guys something, a big thing. Look at that. In GB, if you go to here, if you go to just the regular backer kit place, you can click pre-order now, and it's going to take you over to the pre-order page. Wow, we're up to 300,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. So initially, what did we get? Initially we were at like 260, right? 265. We've raised almost 200,000 since then. So yeah, you can definitely still pre-order it. And backer kit's being a little bit squirrely, so it may or may not send you the PDFs right away. But if it doesn't, just send me an email, evan@nimblerpg.com, or a DM on Discord, and I'll make sure you get them. So some people are getting them, some are not. You know, it's a little bit squirrely. I'm trying to. I've got another website that I'm getting set up. But one big thing that I did finish is a few people were asking about this. Hey, did we unlock the last stretch goal? Yes, we absolutely did. We absolutely unlocked the last stretch goal, so I unlocked the little thing and added a little checkbox just for you guys. It's the small quality of life things. For utility spells, if you're a well-seasoned veteran in at D&D and wouldn't mind having utility spell level 1, yeah, you definitely could. Absolutely could. And maybe maybe we can add that to like the GM guide, like the so adventuring rewards. I added where is it? I had a section on resting and healing. So a safe place to rest is itself an adventure reward. So maybe we can add this to like, maybe we could add to like the boons page. If your players can handle a bit more crunch. Wands. Consider if your players can handle a bit more crunch, and I'll probably reword that. I kind of do like that. Consider giving out boons, utility spells, wands, complex magical items much more freely. I think that's pretty cool, and it may not it may not be there, but that's just sort of a note for myself. Since it's a note for myself, I'm gonna just stick it over here so that I'm sure to not miss it. So yeah, having that as like GM advice rather than like being core to the rules, because adding those kinds of things in the core rules is going to scare, like every additional thing will scare a certain percentage of people away. It's going to make the real crunchy guys, it's gonna make them happy, but it's gonna make other people unhappy. So there's definitely a fine balance. Maybe that's maybe, but that's a Mother May I situation. There will be many players who are not afforded that previous. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's absolutely true. I'm just not personally seeing any complexity from. You'd be surprised, Josh. You'd definitely be surprised. Like every additional choice that needs to be made is so like when companies send out surveys, every additional question that is added, like a certain percentage of people drop off. There's a steep fall off. Like there's like a certain percentage of the population that will answer a 50,000 question survey just to see if they can get to the end, just because they're like masochists. They love the hurt, right? But other people, like if it's more than 3 questions, I'm done. So like you're already picking your class, your race, or your ancestry, background, and maybe some equipment, and like there's like 4 or 5 or 6 choices, and then like your stats and these other things, and like there's a bunch of choices. It can be a lot for people. So yeah, I'll think about it. Will their physical copies be available later on to purchase? Yes. So there will be, but the price is going to go up. So right now, for people buying, like putting trust in the process, since it's not finished, the retail prices are pretty heavily discounted. Once everything is released and finalized, and the actual physical things are here, and you just buy it and you ship it, the price is going to go up because it's a ready thing. So for people who backed it in the crowdfunder, they got a discount. For people who are pre-ordering, so the crowdfunder they got a little bit more sizable discount. People who are pre-ordering, they still get a good healthy discount. And then once it's released live, then the price is gonna go up just because it's gonna be ready, and like you can sort of get it right away. So people who are waiting for a long time, they get more of a discount. Leave some of the stuff for the confirmed Nimble Advanced Core. Yeah. Bruno, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Josh, I did a mage my second play time test playing D&D. Got super overwhelmed. Oh yeah, you mean wizard, Brandon, and D&D? Yeah, yeah. So the first time I played D&D, like I was a rogue and I had like one thing to do, and like it was a lot. It was just a lot. There's definitely the curse of knowledge, like knowing what it's like to have all these different things. Don't make it a choice. Just give them a single one. Yeah, it's just another thing to keep track of, is what I mean. It's just like one more thing to keep track of. I mean, you can use all of your spells out of combat as well. Okay, so let's keep going. So I think actually let's go through the other classes. See if we can move any of them earlier. When do we get utility things here? Level 6 for the Shadowmancer. So I like that the mage gets them the earliest, because like that is their thing. Osorn can do a lot of other things. They get there a little bit later. They don't get as many. I think that's fair. The Shadowmancer, upgraded cantrips, level 6. I think level 6 is okay. Level 6, level 8, and then level 14. Yeah, that feels correct for the Shadowmancer. For this boy, the Shepherd, level 3. Yep, level 3, level 6, and level 11. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, so they get them earlier, but but only the Necrotic and Radiant, so only 2 spell schools. So the mage gets access to all 3 spell schools. That feels good. That feels good. The Songweaver, and look at that art. Isn't that art so cool? Like I love that art. That's such cool art. Songweaver, when do we get Windbag? So they get level 3. Level 6, level 14. Yep, that feels correct. Just like the mage, slightly different. Stormcaller, level 4. Yep, that feels correct. Level 7, so just a little bit later than the other full-caster classes because the Stormshifter gets like the whole like animals thing. And then Stormcaller, do they ever get the others? I don't think they get the others. Yeah, so just a second. And then if you do choose the Circle of Sky and Storm, the spellcasting subclass, then you get additional ones. But if you choose the other one, then you just get the Wind and Lightning. We're not getting through all the feedback in 1 hour. Stabs his sandwich of everything. Paper sandwich. Stabs his paper sandwich of everything. Not edible. Can all the cantrips, etc., are entirely useless. I mean, not if you're creative. Yeah. I mean, Josh, I'll definitely think about it. And a lot of that can be borne out in the playtesting. And like for like the rogue and like all the melee guys, like they just have to use their like off the character sheet, wits and things like creativity. So I don't know. I don't know that it's a bad thing. Because like when you can use Mage Hand freely all the time from level 1, like a lot of things are trivialized. Wasn't there a witch class mentioned? Yeah. So that's coming. The other guys are still working on that. So I'll probably do the development of that live, just so you guys can sort of see what that looks like. So it is a full witch class with a couple of different subclasses. So yeah, we're gonna have to get cooking on that this month. So in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be working on that. Summerweave has some of the best art. Yeah. So witch class is still coming. It's gonna be a pretty cool one. I ate typing on my phone, Brandon. I would suggest that maybe a wizard wasn't the correct choice for you as a new player, perhaps. But like, yeah, perhaps. Yeah, Brandon. Sasha always picks like the hardest classes, and she always struggles. Okay, so let's keep going. I think I'm okay with where the utility spells are. Casting spells for free, confusion. It's not clear that abilities that cast spells free, example, Stormshifter, Circle of Fang and Claw, Dire Beast, they still consume mana. Okay, so let's go to the core rules. Let's read it, and if we need to clarify, we'll do that. Okay, so let's go over to actions. Some abilities are free and do not cost an action to perform. Let's clarify here. But will still spend any other required resource. For instance, mana. Okay. I think that might help a little bit. We'll do a little bit of a professional scooching. Scooch. Yeah, we still got space. Okay, so let's see. Some abilities are free and do not cost an action to perform, but will still spend any other required resource, e.g. mana. Free equals just action, yes. Yep, there it is. Yep, it's kind of hidden. Maybe that could go in the glossary. Or index, or frequently asked questions, or whatever it is. Free. Some abilities are free. Does not cost an action to perform. There we go. Hopefully that'll help. It is kind of hidden for sure. There we go. Do free abilities that interpose/defend count as a yes? Yes. So if it's free, it doesn't cost an action, but it still does. You still do it. Yes. It was lost. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Yes. One of my favorite hymns. Berserker, level 3, Red Mist, Blood Frenzy, unclear wording. Blood Frenzy while raging for the first time each round. Okay, yeah. I think that might just be a typo. We're making progress now, Edward. We're getting there. Ooh, and I did add this. I don't know if you guys saw that. Mountainous tenacity. Whenever you would expend your hit dice to recover hit points, for every 10 hit points you would recover, you may heal 1 wound instead. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So it's only during a short rest, or only during a short rest. You can long rest and you just get them back. So only during a short rest, instead of regaining hit points, if you want, if you've been taking a lot of damage, you can regain wounds instead. So that's pretty sweet. It's better than the other one, I think. It just makes more sense. Okay, Blood Frenzy. While raging the first time each round, there's just like it's the word "your" is missing or something like that. While raging. So this, while raging, when you crit or kill an enemy, while raging, the first time each round, while raging, the first time each round you kill or crit in, I'm making it worse, an enemy. Has that been in there a while? It's not been there for a while. I just it's been there since like the past 4 days, and I just exported the thing like 4 days ago. So let's see. I'm just putting them next to each other, and I'm going to read them both and see which makes sense, which is shorter, which is better. While raging, when you crit or kill an enemy, whenever you crit or kill an enemy, change 1 fury die. It would be 1 fury die to the maximum. What's brown? Yeah, that's fine. And I don't think we put it in. We don't put it in brackets. We just say this. There we go. Yeah, I like this one better. While raging, whenever you crit or kill an enemy, change 1 fury die to the maximum or its maximum. I think either way is fine. I think it's newer. That was an idea that my boy Tyler had. He had something like that, and then I cooked on it a little bit. I think when Nimble officially is done, I want to do a fight where the finalized heroes go against these shadows that are on the heroes class. Oh, that'd be cool. That's a 24-hour thing. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so Blood Frenzy, thank you guys. That one is definitely fixed. Red Mist, blind sight definition. Cannot locate a definition for blind sight in the hero's guide. Okay, let's see. Blind sight. Find, and let's just do all documents. Find next. Find next. There indeed is not a definition for blind sight. Blind sight while raging. Blind sight. What is blind sight? It's probably like some paragraph. Blind sight's probably some paragraph of text. Oh, it's not too bad. Come on. Blind, S-I-G-A-H-T. I think with all the AI that we have going on, it'd be easier to figure out what I'm typing. If you have blind sight, you can see within a specific range without relying on physical sight. Within that range, you can see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you have blind condition or in darkness. You can see through through darkness. Anything else? Anything else spicy there? You can see through darkness. And you can see through darkness and invisibility. There you go. Cool. Okay, and we'll add this to the core rules. But I feel like blind sight just as a name of a thing, like it sort of does what it says. But for those who like the solidity, the solidness of the definition. There we go. Can it not also see through objects? It can't see through like walls and stuff. No. I'm blind with rage. Yeah. Solidarity. Yeah. See through solidarity. you guys aren't. It's always best to define things. It's not always best to define things. It is frequently best to define things. But yes, you're. I'm being pedantic. Okay, let's go back to this blind sight. Fix that. Berserker is fixed. The cheat. Sneak attack's damage is not additional damage anymore. Let's see. There we go. Plus 1d6 damage. I think I removed additional because it was making it go to 2 lines. There we go. I don't think we need to change all the others. There we go. Fixed it. Easy fix. Yeah, I indeed did, Josh. You caught me. Guilty. Oh, one of my favorite webcomics from back in the day. What was it? My Cardboard Life. If you guys want to look up My Cardboard Life, there was this this cute webcomic that this girl would like actually take. We're looking it up. My Cardboard Life. Is that still a thing? Oh, Philippa Rice. So like she would actually like cut out paper. You guys got me reminiscing. She would cut out paper and cardboard. And like just actually like write with an ink and pen, ink on paper. Like she would write the webcomic like this. Like that is so cool. And one time she had the spoon. Where's the spoon? Spoon. She had this spoon as like a character, and it would just say like guilty, and that was his thing that he did. I want to see if I can find it. Oh no! If anybody can find it, send me a link. It was such a cute little thing. Super cute webcomic. I used to do webcomics back in the day, and she was one of my compatriots. Hey Colin, I got his tickets. So this is Cardboard Colin and Paper Pauline. Hey Colin, I got his tickets to see that band you like. Oh, you guys can't see it. I really like you. Oh man. Isn't that like the best? Isn't that the best webcomic? 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Okay. I can't. No, you guys didn't come here for that. Commander, should naming be consistent with the spell blade? Commander 1.9 has move it. Well, Spellblade has move it. It should be, yes. Let's see, coordinated strike. So we have him down here. Move it. What is this one? Yeah, My Cardboard Life is just a beautiful little thing. All day. Yeah, definitely should be capitalized. Definitely. All day. I watch a stream of Evan's favorite webcomics. I've got a bunch of them. I used to be super into the webcomic scene. That's what I wanted to do for a living a while back. but it required a lot of travel and being away from the family, so couldn't do that. But I was super duper into webcomic scene back in the day. Reposition Spellblade. Reposition Stormstrike requires a save or limitations. Bruno playtested for 3 sessions. Players, if the players spam it just for the teleporting part, they don't even care to move it. All right, let's read it. That's funny. Reposition, let's read it. Action or reaction on an ally's turn. Command one ally to move up to their speed or up to 2 allies up to half their speed for free. Then one ally who can hear you can exchange places with one enemy. You gain the charge condition. Yeah. Let's see. Bruno tested for 3 sessions. If the players spam it just for the teleporting part, they don't even care to move. While fun at first, the ability makes fights gimmicky. After a while, if the player wants to, a monster can be stuck around and around wherever he wants. The GM has very little say. Yep. There was this one time I literally watched a player move 15 feet forward and 15 feet backward just so they're able to teleport. What? Oh, I see. um, um, with this ability, the commander turned into an AoE machine. He never uses his sword. That's cool. Like cool in that like someone is able to figure out a way to break it. The Spellblade issue has more to do with the abilities only happening at specific times, while the yeah. Yeah. No, we could definitely keep the coolness without making it a thing that you do constantly. If like pushing the A button is the answer to everything, then like obviously it needs to be tweaked a little bit. Like so this is cool in the sense that like, oh, they broke it. Like, okay, let's fix it. Not cool in the sense that like, oh, this is the new desired thing. What if the PCs are communicating over distance? Example, SunnySons does the ability have max range? Will the enemy be teleported to the end of the world? It's the commander. Over. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's the cheat. I'm flying over the lava. Over. All right, swap places with me. And the enemy falls into the lava. Okay, yeah. So we need some suggestions Discord message. So is this suggestions on like what to do? So before we cook up our own ideas. Suggestions. Every order has a specific trigger or limits how many times it can be used. Coordinated strike, hold the line. Saving exchange, yep. Spellblade gets charged only when it works. Okay. Or maybe charged when it fails. So like there's always some benefit. Like you can either swap places if they succeed, or you can get charged if it fails. So it's like it always does something. Saving the exchange places thing, the spell gets charged only when it doesn't. Yeah. There we go. And that makes sense. Yeah, pent up energy. Yeah, cool. At a distance, like 60 feet, at an ally, and an enemy you can see. And then it's a spell blade that is the one who must change places. Yeah. Furthermore, I suggest a combination of at least 2 of those points. Yeah. Reposition, Stormstride. This is Bruno's favorite. Let's see if Bruno's favorite is good. And I'll make this a little bit smaller so you guys can see it. So where's the end of Discord? The end of this thing is right there. Okay, so now I know what you guys can see and not see. Action reaction on an ally's turn. Command one ally to move up to the speed for your 2. Okay. Then you or an ally can exchange places with an enemy you can see within 60 feet. Wit save. No, it'd be well saved now. But yeah. If it fails, you gain. So if they succeed, gain the charge condition instead. Update the feedback I've been. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I was thinking already. Let's think. Let's see. Okay, so we don't want someone doing this constantly, but I think once per encounter, once per round, like once per round probably isn't enough. It's still too much. Once per encounter is not enough. So get out of here, Nitro. What even is Nitro? Is that just like their subscription thing? So when we tested the commander, like being able to reposition like multiple times in an encounter was really super duper cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, I got you. Line of sight, yeah. Seeing around the world is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then one ally. Okay. We got it. I'm cooking. Then you can. So I think it should spend one of your dice. Spend one combat die. That's what it is. Then you may spend one combat die to allow or we can say how about an or you may spend one combat die to allow an ally so it should still be a command for your allies and not for yourself. So the idea is like, so I don't want to nerf the base ability. This should be something in addition to that thing. Cool. Josh, how many people are, how many players do you generally have in your games? So I think or, probably not or, because then it's like you pick. You may then spend one combat die to allow one of them to exchange places with an enemy you can see. All right, so this is a rough draft. Let's read it and see if it makes sense, and also if it's fun. Okay, action reaction on ally's turn. Command one ally to move up to their speed, or two allies up to half their speed for free. You then this should definitely be a may. You may then spend one combat die to allow one of them to exchange places with an enemy you can see on a failed will save. All right, so I'm just making sure we're not breaking anything as we're doing this. So what if five is preferred? At most six, yeah, that feels about right. So far, my Spellblade plays really exotic subclass. That's cool. We have a Commander, Bulwark, and a Spellblade in the same party. Man, that's gotta be a hard party to fight. That seems really cool. They each like their subclass without feeling shaded by their. Yeah, that's so cool, Bruno. That's really exciting to hear. I like hearing when the classes are working well, and but also there's a storm shifter that's a little bit borked right now still apparently. I haven't seen the feedback, but I've felt the urglings and burglings of feedback. We'll look at that in just a sec. I love having game nights on like weird days like Monday, like Tuesday. Everybody's Fridays and Saturdays are always busy. Okay, so how does this feel? So basically the same. So So if we require a will save, should it require Should it spin a combat die? I feel like if you're spinning combat die, it should maybe just succeed. So we added a restriction, spinning combat die. We added a restriction of you can see, and we added a restriction of failed, a will save, and we added a restriction of you only gain charged if they fail. Okay, so we nerfed it 4 different ways. Probably too much. Actually, I asked a question regarding the storm shift on a more basic level Nimble. If you want to link me to it, we can take. So we might skip to that. So rather than these sort of smaller changes, I want to get like make sure all the big changes are done and at least made so that people can like cook on them a little bit. So if I think we'll jump to the storm shifter if that's still up in the air for you guys, we'll jump to that next. Okay, so let's. So I don't like the idea of. So should it spend a combat die or should it require a will save? Spending a combat die it spends a resource. A will save makes sense, but it makes it take longer. There you go. There we go. Ooh, and we save a line of text. Ooh, okay. So we remove the will save. So we remove the will save. So you automatic. So we went from 4 nerfs down to 2 nerfs. Balance adjustments, I'll say. Have you thought about making setting and genre guides out like sci-fi, pirates, horror, western, act, etc. using numerals? So Nimble is setting agnostic. So you could easily do pirates, western, horror, like just run cursor draw. It's horror. It's not super horror-y, but you definitely could. Sci-fi would be the only thing you'd probably just reflavor. Like instead of a mage, you would be like you're the guy with all the weapons that shoot fire. Instead of shooting at your fingertips. So the rules do not really need an update for that kind of stuff. But as far as settings, sci-fi settings just generally tend to perform really, really poorly. In my experience, like I like sci-fi kind of stuff, but they tend to underperform a lot compared to fantasy. And I enjoy fantasy. I really hate Western stuff so much, though. I hate Western stuff. I hate the flavor. I hate it. I hate it. So I won't be making any Western style things. But if anybody else wants to, let me know, and I'll help you guys promote that. If you guys make any Western Nimble stuff, even though I don't like it. Okay, command one ally to move up to their speed, blah, blah, blah. You may then spend 1 combat die to allow one of them to exchange places with an enemy you can see. Okay, so let's reword it. You may then spend 1 combat die to gain the charge condition and allow one of them to exchange places with an enemy you can see. Yeah, so you're like you're charging yourself up and making them swap places. That feels pretty cool. Storm Stride. And you may then spend 1 combat die to gain the charge condition and allow one of them to exchange places with an enemy you can see. That feels pretty good. Spending 1 combat die is enough for will save to not be needed any longer. Yeah, happy. That's cool. And how many? Let's see. How many combat dice do they get? It's equal to their int, right? Combat dice. Combat dice. Whenever you roll initiative, gain combat dice equal to your int. Yeah. So like the smarter you are, the more you can do it. Yeah, that feels cool. Like you're using your you're using that to to cast spells and do things. I like that. Okay, so that is checked off. Whoever wanted to be notified of Storm Shifter, let them know that we're Storm Shifting, guys. So we'll come back to Spellblade. I think I could clarify that just fine, and all of these other things. with the bit of time that we have. What happens to items while beast shifting? Whatever you want. So they're probably just like absorbed into your form or whatever. Like whatever the least fiddly thing that happens. So like your stats and things don't change. So your armor and your shields and all that sort of nonsense that it gets melded into your form. It's probably the easiest way. Like otherwise, like you beast shift and you unbeast shift and then like you're naked. Like okay, like we don't want that kind of stuff. Can the beast shifter use weapons while in beast form? No, like their claws and teeth are their weapons. They have no thumbs unless you like shape drift into like some monkey or something. Like do whatever. But generally the so what if you did beast shift into a monkey and they just use weapons? Like beast shifting into a monkey and using weapons is exactly the same as just like the storm shifter just like holding the weapon and bonking. So the beast attacks are better than weapons. So that can't be all the feedback. Where's all the feedback about the storm shifter? I saw. Hey Terry, the sci-fi mouse raider setting looks hard. Sci-fi mouse raider setting? What? No way. Is this like an official thing? There can't be a sci-fi mouse raider setting. Are you messing with me? You guys can't talk about mouse raider. Not actually, we're look it up. You got to be messing with me. The whole storm shifting stuff is not in the document though. What happened to YouTube, Josh? Can someone send me the link? Someone send me the link. Link me, boys or girls. Link me. There it is. Hey, all right, I got it. Thank you, Edward. I got it. Quit moving it. You're making it hard for me to copy. Okay, so do I need to scroll up or is this okay? This is so I'm gonna start here because there's stuff here. I present ideas. Twin had some feedback above. Double king, twin steel, Terry. I don't see it. Whole storm shifting stuff is not in the document. I don't see it. Okay. Hey, Chud. Is Chud here? Hey, Chud. I don't think Chud's here. Answer this first, Evan. So with that in mind, what is your vision for the Fang and Claw subclass? Could you do voice to Discord? Yeah, sure. Definitely could. With whom, Edward? With you, Edward? You want to hop in chat? So yeah, whoever wants to, if you want to hop in chat, let me know. Let me look at Josh's question first. What is your vision for the Fang and Claw subclass? What should be the flavor? What type of character should the Fang and Claw Stormshifter be, essentially? Mouse Punk? Oh, Mouse Punk. Right, hang on, Josh. Oh, cool. Okay, unofficial supplement to Mouse Ritter. How cool. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, sorry, Josh. Who's to be better, easier for the people that are deep in Stormshifter? Okay. Answer the, so what is the vision for the Stormshifter? Okay, so for the Stormshifter, so let's go to the docs. Let's go to the documents. So the vision for the Stormshifter. So let's say Berserker, S tier, melee, and S tier melee and survivability. All right. Storm Shifter let's say mage, maybe not S tier survivability. Let's just say S tier in melee. Well, we'll leave it more. Mage is S tier spell casting. S tier spell casting. Storm shifter. The idea for the storm shifter is, come on, why is it? Let me. The idea for the storm shifter. No, I don't want storm shifter. I want storm shifter. The idea for the storm shifter is it's going to be like B plus or like A or B tier melee. Let's say B tier melee slash spell casting. So quite good at both of those things. And then the idea for the subclass is to make it A tier melee. So like A tier in one of those. Because so the utility. So the Storm Shifter is a flexible class. It's a flexible class. Their value comes out of flexibility, right? So think of like like I'm big into finance and stuff. So think of like a CD, certificate deposit, a CD versus a savings account. So savings account, you have the added, you have the flexibility. You have the flexibility of I can take money out whenever I want to, right? But the interest rate is flexibility is plus, but interest rate is like a negative. So like it's not negative interest rate; it's just not as good. So flexibility plus plus, interest rate is just like plus. CD has flexibility is like plus, like you can choose your term, but the interest rate is like plus plus, right? So interest rate, right? So that's the kind of idea that we have. So you exchange a little bit of interest, a little bit of bonus for flexibility, because flexibility has value. Really tiny text. Sorry, guys. You have to squint. What is this? A document for ants? So the Storm Shifter cannot be S tier at both of those things. Otherwise, everybody would just pick that, obviously. If they're S tier at one of those and they get this other thing, then it's still better than the other class. But if they're like in like the numbers are not exact, like I'm using them like a little bit loosely, obviously. So if they could be B tier at both of those, but they're B tier at two things, which has more value, and then they can like improve one of those quite a bit. That's what we're going for. Okay, Bruno, I think the answer is not about power levels such as ABS. It's a fantasy. What is the fantasy for the Fang and Claw exactly supposed to be? So the fantasy for Fang and Claw is like someone who can go toe to toe, almost as good as a berserker. And then a berserker, when they drop to 0, they have cool berserker things that they can do to keep smashing, right? Like they could keep going toe to toe because they have this other thing. The Fig and Claw, they can go longer. They can extend that toe to toe time using like the fearsome beast and the temporary hit points and doing those kinds of things. But once they drop to 0, they can like teleport away to safety and start blasting from a distance. Right. So this sort of flexibility, or they can start off blasting from a distance, like getting all the spooky dudes, and then they can shapeshift and then run in and like do these cool things. So it is sort of this duality, right? So whereas like maybe a level 2 storm shifter, or like say a subclassless storm shifter, they might do half and half. Like half the time they're blasting, half the time they're slashing. Um, the other way, once you pick Fang and Claw, maybe like 80% of the time you're doing your cool melee stuff, and then to bring things home, or the dude's running away, you don't want to chase after them. You just blast them with lightning, right? That kind of thing. The text is still small. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? It is a little bit small. Oh yeah, if you're on a phone or whatever, I guess it might be small. So that is the fantasy, that they're not a dedicated always caster or a dedicated always melee dude. if they really wanted to, they could, but they're not going to be as good of a caster as a mage because the mage gets their mana back more frequently. They have a deeper mana pool like every time. They're not going to be as they're not going to have as much endurance as a berserker as some of these other classes, but they could. Like if they're smart about it, they probably could, right? So that is the fantasy. If people are asking for like I want my Fang and Claw to be S tier in melee, that's not what the class is. Like pick one of the melee classes, like the Zephyr, or the Cheat, or the Berserker, or even the Commander, or like even Oathsworn, like that kind of thing. Like maybe not the Oathsworn, maybe like one of the other one of the Oathsworn subclasses perhaps. But the Fang and Claw, the Druid class gets its value from like this combination of these two worlds, right? So they are a full caster and a full melee, like sort of. Does that make sense? If we make them as good as all these, if we let them do everything, then they're just the best class. Okay, so I hope that answers the question of the goal. Yeah, so in last time, most recently, we came up with this mechanism to like reward them for like shifting back and forth and doing all these different cool things, which I think is pretty sweet. And maybe it's the new changes that need to be updated. So let's see what the oh, not that. Let's see here. Was it this one? Okay, level 3. The idea for level 3 is sure, take away the spells. So we're not taking away the spells. You still have all the spells. But then let the Fang and Claw shift. Just let them shift. Just go to town. Have fun. 24. I mean, what? Pretty powerful. Horizontal whatever. Switch shift. Whenever you roll initiative, regain one spent use of B shift. Okay. You gain the following ways to B shift seamlessly without expending uses of your forms. That's interesting. So if you're already one form, you can shift into another form. So it's just going from human to animal is hard, but like animal to animal is easy. Ooh. That's an innovation. You guys. You guys. Hmm. Kind of like that. I kind of like it. This is what I sound like when my mind is blown. When there's a new, like a complete new paradigm or new, like a brand new idea. That opens up a lot of cool design space. Can they join you in the voice chat? Yeah. Who wants to? Bruno, if you want to hop in, or Josh, whoever wants to hop in, just ping me on Discord. Just send me a DM on Discord, and we'll chat. Yeah, just need someone to bring it to the top of the list. Bruno or Josh or whomever, feel free to ping me. As part of the movement in the first round, first point of old swish shift, you can Bruno. Hop on. All right, so let's give Bruno a voice call. Bing bong bong. Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and everybody, you guys, you're a little bit low. Can you guys tell me if can you guys hear him? Go ahead and say something else. Bruno?
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. All right, go ahead, man. Do you want me to keep reading through this, or do you want to like sort of give me an overview, or what do you think?
Me and Josh was talking earlier today, and we were like discussing with each other what exactly is the fantasy of the Fang and Claw.
Hmm.
Because the idea is that the druid is kind of in the middle of this. One can cast and is stronger than the other, and blah blah blah. And we're like going at it for a while now. And I guess we were thinking like if the idea for the Fang and Claw is like to be able to fight in melee, in beast forms, and etc. The 1.9 class still has very little charges to work with, and some of us, at least I feel, that the gameplay for the subclass is a little static. Like you quickly spend all your charges for the long rest,
Hmm.
and then you gain this free shift in the beginning of combat, but then the other abilities that require you to be a certain shape for you to use certain abilities,
Gotcha.
they can't be used multiple times.
Yeah.
So if we go away from everything we've been discussing about spellcasting for the Fang and Claw, and the Fang and Claw being behind in comparison to the Storm Shift, the SNS, the Sky Storm,
Hmm.
because the Sky Storm can cast, then what would be the equivalent for the Fang and Claw for us to not worry about casting? It would be shifting and fighting better, shifting like contextually, I think. Um, like I
Hmm.
said, I don't think it's vertically powerful. Like it doesn't add up on top of each other, but you're like more diverse.
Hmm.
Like you can shift into the bear when you need temp
Hmm.
HP. You can shift into the wolf when you can, and you go shifting
Yeah.
seamlessly throughout battle. But I understand that first of all, shifting freely it's kind of OP, and shifting with a larger pool is kind of boring.
Yeah.
So in my vision, I put like little triggers you as a player can watch for, and seize the moment to shift and change your strategy. And I think that's dynamic because not every fight will have the same triggers. You know,
Hmm.
each fight will have triggers in different times. So I think it's kind of fun that way, the level three, and with that versatility, maybe the Fang and Claw can start going away from being envious that the Sky Storm can cast freely
Hmm.
and do its own thing. You know?
No, yeah, I really like that idea of being able to swap from form to form freely without costing a charge. I really like that idea because like you can start out maybe as like a fearsome beast. You gain the temp HP and like you do all these things, um, and then hmm, and like swap or like swapping to the beast of the pack, or like maybe you start out as a beast of the pack, and then you build up some frenzy dice or something, so, and then like shift to the fearsome beast. I really like that idea. Yeah, let me think about that. Okay, so what was there? Any other thoughts you wanted to add, or any other context that's
Yeah,
not here?
yeah. I actually I didn't meant for this document to reach your hands today, actually, because I
Okay,
don't think it's 100% ready.
okay.
I didn't do the math like at all.
Oh,
If
don't
it's
worry about
too
that.
strong or long.
I'll figure out the balance. Yeah, yeah.
But
Don't
we
worry about
were
that.
like discussing what we envision when we think about the Fang and Claw fighting, and there was this video that we were passing hands and talking about it, and like I don't know if it will get you in trouble for streaming YouTube because of copywriting,
I'll have
but
to watch it later probably, but if you shoot me a link, I'll take a look.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Well, I'm gonna hop in and chat with Josh. Unless there was anything else.
No, no, that's it.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. All right. Let's hop into. I think there's some people in the voice chat playtest.
Oh,
Hey,
hi.
hey. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Can
All
everybody
right.
else hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Your mic is a little bit hotter. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. I wasn't. I didn't really have much to add. I was just hanging out. There's double. Hey, you do stuff.
Hey, Matt. What's up?
Hey,
Double you there. Yeah.
sorry. I had to mute the video, so I wasn't hearing you twice.
Okay. What's up?
Sure. Double, I was gonna let you go first. You're much more
Oh,
into this than I am. I just had that
I don't
question
know.
about the basics, like the basic question, which I already got answered, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty okay.
No, I really
Yeah.
love the idea of like the storm shifter like not just being a beast, but like being beasts. Like any combat, like you're shifting
Mhm.
back and forth between this and this and this and that. I really like that idea.
Cool. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what your vision was for this. Like, is it the bigger, better bear? Is it the constant shifting? Is it this or that or something else that we
Yeah,
can
I
maybe try
think
and
jumping between
focus our
different
feedback?
jumping between different forms as as a situation calls for it is like
Mhm.
nice. Like that is cool. So yeah, I've already got a bunch of
Yeah.
ideas just from that idea alone. So I'm gonna start cooking. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys think first. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So you know, I haven't play tested the 1.9. I think some of these ideas are really cool. But I don't have a problem with 1.9 either, so I'm not as impassioned here. But I wanted to express a couple of thoughts. One, I think I may have put my finger on why Creatures of the Fae is so contentious, and that's that like if you're talking about Sky and Storm versus Fang and Claw, and that they're maybe like a 60-40 casting versus Beast Shift for Sky and Storm and 40-60 for Fang and Claw. You know what I'm saying? Like that we're doing some split 60-40 or 30-70 or
Mhm.
whatever that is. But the sticky thing about Creatures of the Fae is that it allows you to do both at the same time. Like it kind of crosses that divide
Yeah. Did you hear
between the
that?
two.
Sorry, that was super loud.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a
You
really loud.
okay?
Yeah, it was this video that Bruno just sent. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
No. I hear you. I hear you.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Keep going.
yeah. So I think that's why that's been such a sticky thing. Like I said, it's not a huge deal to me, but I think that that's what
Mhm.
the issue is. That one subclass gets to do both at the same time, and one subclass is locked into one.
Okay. Yeah. No. No.
One at a
I
I
time.
did have an idea.
Yeah.
I did
So
have an idea.
I
Go ahead.
don't think
You talk.
the Circle of Sky and Storm, the Beast of the Fate or Creature of the Fate, they don't really get to do both. It's just I don't want to lock out either class from both halves of its thing. So the Sky
Right.
and Storm, like all they gain is like a little bit of movement speed and a little bit of temp HP. Uh,
So
Mhm.
I think that's fine. The Fang and Claw, in the Fang and Claw when they're shape shifted, they get all of their DPS and all of the benefits, and they get to keep all their mana. They can do all the cool stuff. So I definitely get it. I get how it seems that way, but I think I fundamentally disagree with that because of all the additional things that the Fang and Claw gets. Like
I could be
yeah.
I could be wrong about that. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I could be
Mhm.
wrong about that, but don't they get chimeric forms too? So like being able to turn into a winged beast of the pack and fly around and cast spells
Yeah.
is a wholesale different experience than like, just getting the temp HP and stuff.
Sure,
Like
but they
those
can just
those
cast
get
fly
stronger
also.
effect.
Like
That's
they
true.
have wind. They can just fly. Um,
And so
Yeah.
can
uh,
Yeah.
if you cast it before you go into beast form, can't the Fang and Claw too? If you cast fly first.
yeah. I mean, they could
And they can have wings
both.
too, yeah. But
Yeah.
they need to be in melee, so it's a little bit different. Sorry.
I think we could watch this as long as there's no sound.
Do it.
Uh,
It's muted.
That definitely expresses Bruno's idea
okay.
very
Yeah.
well.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just can't have any sound in it.
No.
Otherwise, it'll.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's like a tiger, then a dude,
Ape.
and
Yeah.
then all right. So I'm and then a kangaroo. What?
I mean,
Oh,
hey,
so he can
kangaroos be
jump.
cute.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I definitely get the fantasy of that.
Yeah.
Mouse Ritter, Mouse Punk. Okay, cool. Any other thoughts? So
Yeah.
I think I have
Yeah.
enough to start cooking. But
I
if you
had
have
an
any
idea.
additional new thoughts, yeah, go ahead.
And this is just an idea for a mechanic that you can embrace or not, but it was a thought I had. What if you could decrement your frenzy dice to cast spells in Fing and Claw? That was just a thought I had.
Decrement the frenzy dice to cast spells in Fang and Claw.
Go down on the frenzy dice to cast a spell or something like that. Just a thought. I don't know. It's very low, early
Okay,
bake.
yeah.
Just a thought.
I'll
Anyway,
think about that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
but that might enable you to bring in a little bit spellcasting into
Yeah.
the S that it doesn't
So
have.
I think we, if I recall, I
Yeah.
think we
You
do
got
have.
cooking going on.
Yeah, we do have some spell casting in there. So
Yeah.
the Circle Fang Claw should not be able to just cast spells freely. I think
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But like having some access to that, I think is cool. Maybe a little bit later. All right, so I'm gonna hop out of the voice chat, and then
Yeah.
I'll just do some.
I got
I'll do
one more for you.
some. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I almost got one more.
Yeah, just real quick. So one other thing somebody suggested, I think it was Chud, suggested the idea of of increasing the amount of temp HP you get substantially for each one, but basically using that as your shift's health
Yeah.
bar. You know, so like as you decrease, when you run out of temp HP, you're out of the form. You're back to being, so it's just a
Yeah.
seed to plant. I don't know if it's gonna turn into anything, but figured I'd throw it
Yeah,
out there.
that's how the 5e and
Yeah.
that's how the 5e druid is. I don't think I like that. I don't think I like that. That
Makes them the
definitely
ultimate
has
tank.
that definitely has a big danger of turning into slog. So anytime there's like just huge health pools and that kind of thing, it can definitely slow things down. It's definitely an
And they can
option.
do it as many times as they have beast shifts, so it can last for a really long time.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's too much danger in that becoming quickly unfun. So we definitely got to be careful about that.
Last super quick thing, just to throw out there.
Mhm.
I think that this like quick shifting between types idea was where Bruno's interpose, like shift to bear when you interpose, like came in.
Yeah.
That's where that thought process came from.
Mhm.
But I don't think I read it as fully baked, so I just wanted to throw it out there as like that being able to interpose and turn into a bear right away or whatever would be where that slots in.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna start cooking. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. See ya.
Discord has the spooky noise. Okay. So I'm gonna keep looking at the rest of the feedback that you guys had, but I really like the idea. Really like this idea. Shifting from person to animal hard. Cost charges. Shift. Easy. Shifting from animal to animal, easy. Okay. Doesn't cost charges. So I think that is a cool core concept. Really cool core concept. Okay, so let's take that and let's run with it, because something that I really like that I think mechanically would be super cool is cool. So what if the Fang and Claw has access to frenzy and gore while in either form? So not sting, probably. We're just cooking. Okay, so what if critical hits from gore trigger the frenzy die, and then so like you can like gore a bunch of times, and then shift into the beast of the back and like bam, right? How cool is that? And what if you're the beast of the pack, but you want to interpose, but first you want to shift into the fearsome beast, so you gain a little bit more armor. Cool, you could do that. That kind of thing is cool. Or what if you could like do these like free shifts, like as a reaction, or like if it doesn't cost a charge, it doesn't cost an action, right? So you don't gain, so you gain the passive benefits, but you don't gain the additional temp HP or whatever. So you only gain the temp HP if, so we're getting a little bit fiddly, but if we organize it and word it clearly, I think it can work. So whenever you spend a charge, you gain the temp HP. But if you're not spending a charge, if you're doing like the quick shifting or whatever we end up calling it, you just get the abilities or something like that. Yeah, that kind of thing would be sweet. So could we? So then there's thoughts of symmetry. So like we don't want to exclude like the third beast. We definitely don't want to exclude the third beast. So could we integrate it to provide a reason to like shift between all of them? I think that would be really cool. So yeah, let's see, unleash the beast. So let's just remember where we were. Whenever you roll initiative, regain 1 spent use of beast shift. And you may this is lost. Okay, you may beast shift or move for free. Let's say then. Okay, then you may beast shift or move free. Okay. What if we add like while you are shapeshifted, you can shift into another, a different kind of creature without spending a charge. Something like that. So we'd have to word it because like I don't want people like getting infinite temp HP because like that quickly becomes unfun. I'd rather have the bonus strong enough to where we can limit it rather than such a weak bonus that you constantly get it and it becomes fiddly and a lot of bookkeeping and unfun. Okay. So that is where it is. Unleash the Beast. While shapeshifted, instead of rolling dice for melee attack, you may deal the maximum amount instead. This counts as crit. Will times per encounter. Ooh, that's cool. That is super duper cool. For a beast, okay, that's a flavor thing. Dire Beast. While beast shifted, gain additional benefits once per encounter each. Beast back cast Chain Lightning for free. Yeah, that's so cool. Fearsome Beast cast Barrier of Wind for free. Yeah, that one's cool. Beast of Nightmares. Oh yeah, cast Entice free. Yeah, that's cool. Dire Beasts. Yeah, so all of that is cool. So I don't want using this cool thing to cost like so like you get one for free. I don't want that to cost 2 uses of your beast shift. I think that's pretty important. Super important, as my dad would say. Yeah, so we need to add something. Disadvantage. Oh, it looked like there's a typo. There's not a typo. Okay, so let's go back to OBS. Let's see what you guys are thinking. And quick shifting should be fin claw. Oh, yes, absolutely. I just want to make sure that's said. Could you increase Fearsome Beast's armor and give everyone the same? Could. Yeah, that would make it easier. Have you gotten a chance to play test this class yet? Yes, we have. Not with the latest changes though. When you switch to a tiny beast, okay, so you shape shift a form of any tiny beast or insect, provided it is horrible. You cannot be targeted with attacks until you make yourself conspicuous. If a creature saw you transform or attack, if a creature saw you transform or attack, gain. So we could move this up here. And gain the sting ability. You cannot be targeted with attacks until you make yourself conspicuous. Sting, reach 0 feet, roll 1d4. On a hit, you deal 1 piercing damage, and the target is injected with dire venom. Roll 1d6 and deal that much mass damage on a critical hit. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll take a look at that, Bruno. Is it this one? Okay. Yeah. Let's finish reading through first. Switch shift, you can following ways to B shift seamlessly without expending uses of your forms. Ooh, yeah, I like that. As part of the movement in a first round, first point of old switch shift can do to both. Oh, I see. I think I see what Dejam. Hey, Double King. All right. Good night, man. Yeah. Okay, so switch shift is this. So are we moving, Bruno? Are we moving this? So so this is swift shift, and are we moving unleash the beast to level 7? Because I don't hate that. That's kind of sweet. Like swift shift. Is that what we're talking about? Are we cooking yet? Not exactly. All right, let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like. We can always change it back. Why are you the way you are? Okay, let's try it this way. There we go. Come on, do what I want. Do what I want. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. We'll figure that out later. Okay, so beats the pack. All right, let's undo all that. Let's undo that. Let's undo that. There. Okay. As part of the movement, so you gain the following ways to B shift seamlessly without spending use of your forms. As part of movement in the first round. What? As a reaction before you interpose. Okay, so you can shapeshift into the wolf boy. You can shift into the wolf as part of your movement in the first round. Okay, or you can shapeshift into the bear before you interpose after a critical melee attack before you reduce to 0 points. Okay, I'm not understanding. I'm getting like the flavor of Kool-Aid is, but I'm not understanding completely. Twin Steel would like to talk with you about his experience through voice. Yeah, let's hop in. Twin Steel, where you at, man? Have you join as well? All right, giving you a call, man. You with me, Twin Steel? Ring, 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 banana phone. Is that a bad song? I don't know. Friend of the Beast, when I thank you. Hey, Twin Steel.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, barely. You're a little bit muffled.
Let me see what I can do here. Any better now?
There we go.
Yeah. Let's see here. I kind of joined near the end of when you were talking with I don't remember whom, maybe Double King.
Yeah.
But the Bruno told me to also mention to you the phase beast issue is if we let shifting happen a whole lot, that phase beast can become beyond what you want it to be able to do, jumping around every which way just through teleportation, which is one thing he wanted to make sure that I brought up. The other things
that could easily be limited to just like when you shift from a dude to an animal.
For sure.
Phase
Oh yeah,
beast.
absolutely. I know you can figure out an easy way to limit that for sure.
But yeah, that's good to bring up.
And then the other couple things were, so when we played this, the latest things that when we tried it out, it's definitely good that we're making it easier to shift between forms because to use the abilities to cast was rather difficult to do without using up a big chunk of your
Yeah.
shifts. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. We did find though that if the idea is that you're trying to be, like the shapeshifteriest of them, that it didn't really excite our table very much when it was like, why am I casting spells? I thought it was supposed to be like a really cool like bear or wolf. So that at our table that didn't land, which was really disappointing. And then the other thing was
It might be a
it was
matter of flavor
surprisingly.
thing.
Pardon?
It might be like a matter of flavor, like rather than just like, oh, cast chain lightning. It's like, no, shoot lightning from your fangs, and then teleport. Like,
Yeah, I mean we, if that's one way to think about it.
okay,
I
no,
will
go
tell
ahead,
you
go
that
ahead. Yeah.
I'll tell you that the idea of a wolf shooting lightning out of its mouth, or a bear, like summoning a great wind, that it's surprising. I can tell you it's surprising that for a guy who was hoping to play a a I wasn't playing it. I was the DM.
Mm.
But the guy was wanting. He was like, I wanted to be like the guy who shapeshifts and does really cool bear things. He was like, but now I feel like I'm casting. He was like, this is undoubtedly far more powerful than what we were dealing with. He's like, this isn't a power issue, Ross. Like I'm not trying to complain about this being not powerful enough.
Mm.
He was saying that it doesn't particularly scratch the itch of what he thought you were going for with the subclass in general, which is like, I'm trying to be a cool shapeshifter. And I think part of that comes from, because we've been saying over and over, hey, this doesn't feel right
Mhm.
that they can't cast while they're in beast form. A lot of the suggestions have come down to like reproducing interesting magical effects. And I think if we're not going to really be interested in making them allowed to cast during, I think that it's kind of led to a blockage or sort of a misdirection in the way that we're developing a lot of these abilities. Because we're saying like, well, what if maybe, like, oh, well, we can't cast, but what if we let them cast in a new and interesting way? And I think that has kind of stifled the bigger, better bear phenomenon. And I'm really glad that that you are interested in the shifting idea now, because that was something that we talked about last time, and I think that'd be really cool, because my player, when I pitched it to them, he was like, oh, the idea of being able to shift to interpose, or like interpose and shift at the same time, that's exactly what I think a shapeshifter should be able to do if like I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be a shapeshifter. So I'm really excited about that.
Okay.
And then the other thing that we experienced was that it seems like Unleash the Beast is definitely, this is another thing. He was like, this is definitely powerful. This is definitely potent. There's no part of me that doesn't think that this is a powerful and more potent subclass. But when it was like, I bite the guy, I choose to crit, great. It had like,
It was
it
a
actually
downbeat.
wasn't exciting or fun.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which like we were all really disappointed about, because I was really pumped. I was like, oh yeah, I suggested this name, and he was like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. And then we were like, okay, I crit, and we were like, great. Oh, okay. It was like the most
Sure.
frustrating thing for me to be like so excited, and then to have to come back here and tell you like, hey man, that wasn't fun.
It's hard to hear that your baby's ugly. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah.
But
Point well taken.
those are the big things. And if you want like a kind of like a play-by-play of what we did and what we came away from that with, I posted it a couple different places. But it's under feedback, and it's also under the like the battle reports section if you ever want to take a look at that. But those are the things that we noted was like, if we're trying to be like the shapeshifter, I think we just need to give up on spells. And if we're trying to be, and if we're going for fun, it was surprisingly not super fun to do the casting and the Unleash the Beasting.
Okay. Yeah. The point about Unleash the Beast, definitely well taken. And I think we're gonna take this juice and spread it out somewhere else, reflavor it, different flavor. I think I'm gonna check out all the feedback. So I do have to go in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no
but
worries.
I'm gonna check it out. So I'm done doing all like the back end like admin stuff that I was working on this past week. So there wasn't a lot of work on the actual core books, apart from like layout and stuff. But I can definitely see how Unleash the Beast is just like kind of like a cool sounding thing, but not a cool feeling thing. And just casting.
We kind of thought of it like, oh yeah, when you get like you want a +3 sword, that's so cool. I've got a +3 sword, and then like
Yeah, and then
every
it's
time you
like,
attack, you just got a +3 sword.
yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah. No, I totally get that. I totally get that. So I think the first direction I'm going to take, if you guys just if you guys want some insight, the first direction I'm going to take is I think like continuing to like I think we're going to keep these ideas but reflavor them so that like the beast of the pack just like moves so fast and like a certain like so fast he casts chain lightning in his wake, like that kind of
Mhm.
thing. Or the fearsome beast like shifts into the bear or the whatever it is like so quickly and like slams himself down that like a barrier of wind like appears, like he's just such a mighty thing and he interposes, like that kind of thing. Or like the beast of nightmares gives like the crazy like googly eyes, and like that sort of thing like will make it feel
Yeah,
like I am a better beast rather than like, oh, I'm casting a spell like as a beast. I think we can make that work, and sort of marry the two sides of this class in an interesting,
yeah. I
unique
mean,
way.
I want to be clear. Like, I have been an advocate, and like, if I had my druthers, we would go the direction of we would make Creature of the Fae a thing that both classes had or both subclasses had access to at a higher level. But I
Yeah.
have seen you be very clear that that's not what you want. So that is why I'm saying, like, I think we made a mistake, those of us who were pitching ideas to try and reproduce casting in a way. And so just
Gotcha.
full transparency, that's where I was coming from. I wanted casting, not the way you want to go with it. Great. We pitched some things in that vein that I think now were mistakes.
Gotcha. No, yeah. It's fine, and sometimes it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So it's better than it was, but can we make it even better? I think so. I think we can.
Cool.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Twin Steel.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, thanks, man. All right, so let's go back to the comments. Okay. I saw Bob flavor all the cast's attacks from the beast form. Yep, exactly. I think that kind of like fearsome beast, mighty stomp or something like that, and like you stomp and you cast a huge barrier, like that kind of thing is cool. And the beast of the back moving so fast that like lightning like charges from his rear end or whatever. I don't know. That kind of thing would be super duper sweet, I think, and it'll make it feel like you still have this elemental power within you, but like you're channeling it through this beast form. And if we didn't like this in playtesting, and like it's one of those things that's like it's obvious once you hear it, like sounds cool, but when it's played, it doesn't feel that good. We can cut this, maybe I think keep the name maybe because it's a sweet name. We can cut this, but retain that like just distribute that power in some other cool way, I think. So like maybe the swift shift here is whenever you shapeshift into Beast of the Pack, move up to your speed for free. Whenever you shapeshift into the bear, like you gain this or that, like that kind of thing. Like we can keep this, but like flavor it for your different doodly dudes. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sweet, and then we start getting even more cool things here. Yeah. Okay, guys. I do have to to cut it off there. I know we got a lot more cool ideas. I've got church in the morning also, so I can't stay up too late. Yeah, we're definitely gonna keep cooking on this. This week there's gonna be more streams, more streams. I'm gonna get this into a place where I'm happy to show it to you and get some feedback from you guys. So we'll do some more streams. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's been fun. It's always a good time hanging out with you guys and chatting about doodly nerdy RPG stuff. All right, appreciate it. See you guys. End.